Zoals reeds aangekondigd gaan we zo meteen de start van de procedure omhoog laten schieten met de rensters die op de tweede start en plaats zullen nemen. Like already announced, our count-up procedure will start with the riders will line up on the select order of starting. We can start right now. De eerste wedstrijd voor de start uit Nederland. De tweede bij ons Nederland voor de Ingrid van de Heide. Met start op de 6 in de race in Nederland. Voor de doel van staat op Bingo, Leonie Bentveld. Voor de Cyclo-cross World Cup uit Nederland. Met start nummer 7, Annemarie Worst. Van de United States Racing Squad from Great Britain with number 46, Sylvie Accent. Voor de Cyclo-cross World Cup uit Nederland met een 5, Aniek van Antwerpen. Voor de vrouwensalonploeg uit Nederland met 9, Denise Benzema. Dat is die bal, dat is de volgende voor de vrouwenstega Sherry. The next one is the Continental Champion from Canada with number 30, McGill. We vervolgen met nummer 17 voor het Nederlands Foresten Marion Robert-Hiddegold.
We're at the end of November and this is the first World Cup of the season. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's special. It's now I think the most important period is coming. But also we feel like we need already to go to Spain to train again. So it's a bit like mental and physical a duel. So yeah, it's strange.
Van Van Empel, you can go for 3 in a row here in Antwerp.
Yeah, it can, and it's of course a goal to win today, and yeah, it's special if I can take 3 in a row.
Yesterday was a nice victory, but today there's some other riders coming in, Alvarado, Brandt. It's going to be a bit different, I guess?
Yeah, Brandt, Alvarado, Casasola as well, and some other riders are strong at the moment, so it will be a nice race.
We have a nice sun today, but there's a lot of wind and there has been a lot of rain. So how's the track looking?
Yeah, actually the track is not so bad. Some slippery parts, but also some normal parts. The wind's gonna be a big role as well. But anyway, it will be an interesting course, I think.
Last year you came in second here. The goal, of course, is to win today.
Yes, the goal to win is always every weekend again. It's a big competition. Many riders, I think, who have a chance to win this race. So I'm really looking forward to battle with them.
An illness during the week, then what are the ambitions today in a cross like Antwerpen in the sand?
Yeah, I like to race here, so it's a fun race to do, and I like to race in the sand, and it's also yeah, a bit tricky with the slightly mud sections that are slippery. But yeah, like I said, we will see how it goes. I go into the race with a very open mind, and we will see how it goes.
Thank you. Good luck.
Voor de Proximus Cyclist Alfa Motorhoofdploeg met nummer 24, Fiona Crame. From Italy with number 55, Lucia Bravati. And dan gaat Ludo vanaf het 12 overnemen. Wij gaan, dames en heren, naar de renners die plaats gaan nemen op de eerste startlijn. Zonder Nederland, de rij van het Bulgaarse team, is op dit ogenblik nationaal kampioene. Mag ik je applaus voor Lucinda Brandt. We gaan nog een kampioenentrui mogen verwelkomen aan de start, namelijk de regenboogtrui. Ze komt uit voor het team Visma Liesewijk. Dames en heren, uit Nederland, de regerend wereldkampioenen in het veldrijden. Verwelkom ze met uw applaus. Hier is Fem van Hembo! Nog iemand die absoluut bij de favorieten mag gerekend worden voor deze openingswedstrijd van de Wereldbeker. Ze komt uit Nederland, rijdt voor Phoenix de Koning. Eveneens graag uw applaus voor Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. Ze heeft dit jaar al behoorlijk wat overwinningen bij elkaar gefietst. Ze rijdt voor de ploeg de Keuster-Bouwpunt. Rijdt deze wereldbekerwedstrijd voor eigen volk, komt uit België. Dames en heren, hier is met uw applaus Laura Verdonschot. We hebben een volgende dame uit te nodigen. Eveneens komt ze uit Nederland. Ze rijdt voor Greyland Corendon en heeft in het verleden de wereldbeker fantastische dingen gerealiseerd. Met uw applaus is hier Manon Bakker. Daar komt ze. Nog een nationale kampioen, another national champion from France. De nummer 31, de nationale kampioen van Frankrijk, nodigen we uit aan de start. En hij vindt au départ, avec vos applaudissements pour Hélène Knozzel. De laatste komt uit het Groot-Hertogdom Luxemburg. Rijdt voor het team Works Ronda is ook nationale kampioen. Another national champion from Luxembourg with number 57 with a big round of applause for Marie Schreiber. En we mogen haar bestempelen als seizoensrevelatie bij uitstek. Ze komt uit Italië, is ook nationaal kampioen. Rijdt voor Greyland Corendon, Antwerpen. Graag uw applaus voor Sara Casasola. Waarmee alle rensters op de startgrid hun plaats hebben ingenomen. Alles klaar voor de openingsmarge van de UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup 2024-2025. We zijn op minder dan 3 minuten van de start, 2 minuten zelfs al. 2 more minutes to go before the start of this race. Nous sommes à exactement 2 minutes du départ. We zijn op precies 2 minuten voor de start.
Merci.
De start van de wedstrijd wordt gegeven met de lichten, de rode en de groene startlichten. Die gaan zometeen uiteraard gehanteerd worden voor de start. We hebben na de wedstrijd een dubbele huldiging. We hebben een double award ceremony after the race. 1 more minute to go, ladies. Laatste minuut, final minute. The first 3 in the race and also the first 3 out of 23 riders will be invited for the award ceremony after the race. Dubbele huldiging dus, de top 3 van de wedstrijd als over de 3 U23 rensters worden na de wedstrijd verwacht op het podium voor de huldiging. We wensen hen veel succes, all the best for all of them, ready to go. 30 seconden, 30 seconden, less than half a minute. Complete focus from now on, opperste concentratie graag vanaf nu. We zijn er al begonnen. De lichten springen van rood op groen. Deze wereldwedstrijd is met deze onderweg. Volkswagen, goede start van Marie Schrijver. Ook Clara Verdomst zeer goed weg. In tweede positie van zijn onderweg. Permanent positie 3, René op 4. Zoe Baxter op 5, dat is de top 5. En Marie Schrijver, de Luxemburgse kampioene, momenteel aan het commando. Ik daar naar de fiets onderaan, maar dat is allemaal zonder problemen verder verlopen, dus nog altijd aan de leiding. Currently in the lead. De wereldkampioen. Fourth place at this moment for the world champion, Van Timpel. Third place for Eleni Klosel. Second place for Anna Verdonschel. En in de lead Marie Schrijver. Schrijver die van de stap beneden. In deze muziekbanden van onze eerste manche van de UCI Wereldbeker wedstrijd voor onze vrouwen die zijn in de categorie. Wissel daar voor het verzet Iris Oprijs. Marie Schrijver, Laura Verdonschel. Nog altijd neemt die eerste ronde voor aanrekening. Dan hebben we Verdonschel, dan hebben we Klosel, dan Van Empel, dan Bos, dan Baxter. Dan krijgen we Casasola. Wat is Alvarado, die komt niet, maar in de positie op het andere eind van het parcours, aan de overzijde van de omloop van deze opener van de wereldbeker veldrijden, zit in de zone van Varta. En daar hebben we inderdaad nog altijd Marie Schrijver, zo lid aankomt in de wedstrijd. De draagster van de Luxemburgse nationale kampioenenprijs. Nog altijd behoren tot de 23 categorie. U kan de 23 rensters makkelijk onderscheiden. Ze hebben rugnummers waarvan de achtergrond zwart is en de cijfers in het wit op dat rugnummer bereiken. Het is net andersom. Bij de rensters in de witte categorie hebben we een witte achtergrond en zwarte cijfers. Zo kan u tijdens de wedstrijd ook
cyclocross season last year in getting the under-23 world title. Slipping and sliding through this sandy section now. Backstead had a problem through that particular section though. Loses a place to the Italian Casasola. They work their way through there. You can hear the music pumping in that tent. So Fem van Empel already makes her way up to the wheel of Marie Schreiber. This is a little bit ominous that the world champion is already there. Yesterday, Van Empel took the victory in the exact cross in Kortrijk. She took off on the first lap. Marion Norbert Ribeiro ended up in second place ahead of Inge van der Heide. Behind them was Sanne Kant, who actually finished in the top 5 for the first time this season. To the steps now. Anne-Marie Verst going well. I'm going to stay here with Van Empel. Backstead onto that section. Manon Becker just behind her. So is Van Empel just literally going to dominate this cross and ride away? She looks so powerful already. Over the boards, jumping the hurdles there was Manon Becker. There's Blanca Vast. Vast is starting to move. Getting close to the end of lap number 1. And the world champion already starting to make a move. Schreiber needs now to try and just stay with her. Stay in the wheels. Try and match her, not do too much. Might be that Schreiber is already in the red zone, or perhaps she's been waiting, let Fem van Empel come back up to her. Be interesting to see whether she can match the tempo of the world champion if she makes a move. Brand is quite a long way back as well. Brand at 13 seconds from the lead. So we're getting towards the end of this first lap. So you've got to keep the momentum going, try and stay upright. Casasola decided to run this section, the Italian champion, who really has come on very, very well now. There's Brand going through. There is the World Cup leader, or World Cup defending champion, Alvarado. Got some work to do. So end of lap number 1. It's the world champion who leads. 8:31. Of course, we'll have a little bit of a correction. There's an 85-meter run-in, so the correction means it's an 8:21 lap. 22.98 kilometers an hour for that opening lap. Very rapid. There's Brand. So the current situation then, let's run through the top 10. There is Blanca Vast working her way through. Fem van Empel leads ahead of Marie Schreiber, who is matching her at the moment, from Anne-Marie Verst. Behind them is Sarah Casasola, then Laura Verdonschot, then Zoe Backstead. Behind them is Lucinda Brandt, then it's Elaine Clausel, Inge van der Heide, and then Manon Becker. Alvarado is down in 11th place at the moment, 21 seconds behind the world champion. Casasola parks it up on that little rise. Well, the world champion Fem van Empel knows this circuit so well. She's been the dominant force here in Antwerp. We're in the largest city in Belgium. capital of the Antwerp province. The population of over 500,000 people. Antwerp, of course, very well known, being down on the River Schelde and linked to the North Sea, very well known for its port. We've had the Antwerp Port Classic here in the past, and of course Schelde Prize starts not too far from where we are right now. We're on the St. Annika beach, chosen as the opening round of this Cyclo-cross World Cup. The port here, the second largest in Europe, and within the top 20 ports globally as well. So a very busy city, Antwerp. If you've never been here, it's certainly worth visiting. First, leading through there in third place at the moment in the red. Casasola, Backstead for Donschot, Brand, behind Brand, a couple of places back, Alain Clauzel, then it's Solindo, Carmen Alvarado. The other rider in there is Inge van der Heide. Schreiber makes a mistake. The thing about Fem van Empel when you watch her, she hardly ever makes a big mistake. She's so consistent, so calm in the way that she rides. Backstead sliding her way through the sand, is going to do the full major cyclocross season now. The question now is whether this group of riders behind her are all quite close together. There's that mistake there by Schreiber as she kicked the back wheel out, had to dismount. The question is whether this group behind can work with each other and come back to the two leaders. And Van Empel, little acceleration, just testing out Schreiber. Well, that opening lap, over 22 kilometers an hour. It's really going to hurt you if you're not able to deal with that sort of pressure. Schreiber makes another mistake. Sense that Schreiber is right on her limit right now. Here's the chasers led by Backstead. The tarmac section. Backstead looks to be now starting to work her way into this race. At one point, she looked to me like she was under a little bit too much pressure, maybe right at the start, but now that she's got into the race, it's almost like she's got that body going now, and she's feeling like she can ride at the intensity that is required. Van Empel's trying to force this pace a little, and it's working well because Schreiber is having to just right herself now and then. Here comes Brand and Backstead, faltering through that section every time at the moment as Van Empel starts to accelerate. This is a little bit of a concerted effort by the world champion, trying to get rid of Marie Schreiber. Oh, problem for Anna-Marie Verst there on the left. Well, welcome along as always. If you'd like to get in touch, at Antwerpen on social media. Don't forget to follow at UCI_cycling as well. And you can get me on all social media at Antwerpen if you would like to. Up the steps. And there's that mistake by Anna-Marie Verst as she went to the left-hand side. The World Cup winner in 2019. So a quick few hellos to some of you. Hello to Colby Cheesy. Thanks for being in touch. And a few more of you who've been messaging in. We'll take some questions throughout this year's cyclocross as well. Schreiber's made her way back onto the wheel. This course has got everything, hasn't it? Not really muddy, so the fast sections here will suit a road rider like both these riders now road riders. Schreiber riding for SD Works, Fem van Empel riding for the team of Visma Elisa Bike, the same team as Marianne Vos. But these fast sections mean that the road riders really can ride them strongly. The sand is always difficult, but you've just got to let the bike glide through the sand. You can't fight it. You've just got to let it do what it wants to do. Try and sneak it into the right direction. Nice shot there of the world champion with those rainbow bands on her blue shoes. Schreiber finding this section really hard. And here comes Lucinda Brand round the corner. It's quite a long section. Brand's at 22 seconds. And to me, it looks like Fem van Empel is going to go away. Brand followed by Backstead. Backstead last year had 2 podiums. As we come around to complete another lap. And that lap was an 8:27 lap. And now Schreiber has lost 9 seconds. Just that little section through the sand is really causing her all sorts of issues. Brand has gone through at 20 seconds, Backstead at 31, Alvarado now in 5th place, starting to move. She's at 34, then Anna-Marie Verst at 34, just behind her, Casasola at 43, and it's Inge van der Heide in 8th, then Manon Bakker, then Laura Verdonschot. Blanca Vass in this group has just gone through in 11th place. Well, these two could help each other a little bit. First, fighting to stay on the wheel of Alvarado. Now, clearly Alvarado has got over the illness of this week because she is moving extremely well. Fastest lap so far is Fem van Empel, 22.99 kilometers an hour. That was on lap number 1. Alvarado's lap 2 was the 7th fastest lap. She's starting to accelerate. So far, Schreiber has got the 2nd fastest lap. Brand on that lap 2 averaged 22.71 kilometers an hour. So Brand is starting to shift. Let's keep an eye on Brand. She's at 22 seconds. Schreiber looks to be under pressure now. Brand doesn't. She's now got going and she is starting to accelerate. There is Brand. Here's Backstead. There's Alvarado. There's Verst. A lot of discussion before today's race about the World Cup. Peter van den Abele, sorry, the head of sport at the UCI. He was interviewed during the week. He's obviously been trying to get the Cyclo-cross World Cup into some sort of order where the riders are happy, where they're also able to attract other towns and cities. Try and bring the road riders in as well. It's quite a complex puzzle as far as he's concerned. And he said said he's defending the good puzzle now. But he said now he sees that we've put something together now for the World Cup and cross-country or cyclocross. The cross landscape he sees is now much better distributed. There's a lot more clarity. And he said also that's a different start to the season now. The build-up was a lot quieter in September and October. Traditionally around Koppenberg, everyone's focused and they start looking forward to the cyclocross. So now he feels that everybody's been looking forward to this Cyclo-cross World Cup more than other years. And everything's a lot more condensed, so it's more compact, and he thinks that's a very good thing. He feels now that you've got more storytelling in a much shorter period of time, which is true from a television perspective. You've now got almost the end of November, through to the end of January, and then into the World Championships. It's very condensed in terms of the World Cup look and feel. Of course, other cyclocross events go on, but it means that the storytelling and the condensed calendar means that us as fans are able to just watch every single week, enjoy the racing. As we're on lap 3 of 6. Schreiber's now lost 23 seconds. It was good for her to go out and just try and get a bit of a lead, see whether she could stick with the world champion. I think what we've missed today so far has been the fact that Alvarado made that early mistake, and that gave her a bad start, leaving her down outside the top 10. It would have been nice to see her match Fem van Empel around this course, but so far that's not happened. But you never say never in cyclocross. Anything could happen on the closing laps. Pits maybe not quite so busy as we expected as well. The bike's not picking up maybe as much grit and grime as we anticipated. Van Empel is just looking so easy, isn't she? She did this yesterday, dominated in Kortrijk. A few more hellos. Hello to Mary and Jerry. Hansen, thanks very much for your message. Also, Bruce Reichlich, thank you very much. Also, Deb C. Is it going to be the Fem show? It looks that way, Deb. And also Drew, thank you very much for getting in touch and enjoying the racing. We're waiting to find out when Marianne Vos will be back, as Brand now comes up to catch Marie Schreiber. Two young riders in Schreiber and Casasola. We've not seen too much of Casasola yet. She's down in 7th place, the Italian rider. 4 times in the top 6 last season, so we started to see the emergence of Sara Casasola, and now again we're seeing her potentially in the top 6 today if she can move up a little bit. See the wind on those flags blowing across the course. Van Empel just into that corner, through that sandy section. And that's the area where she has taken so much time on all the other riders. We saw Schreiber go through there and lose 9 seconds on 1 lap. Here's the second tough section. This is where Schreiber lost that 9 seconds, but the way Van Empel goes, she just kicks the bike, lets the back wheel get so much traction that other riders don't seem to be able to find right now. Let's take a little look here. Here's the move of Lucinda Brand. Big acceleration, moves herself into 2nd place, the former world champion. Still 27 seconds behind. Brand has got so much power. Two almost matching jerseys there with the national champions colours. The lighter blue being the Luxembourg champion. As we come round to complete lap number 3, the midway point. Fast lap there by Fen van Empel. An 8-minute 21 lap. As you can see there in the green. Faster lap, starting to accelerate a little bit now. Brand checks over her shoulder. Brand looks to be really forcing now, but she's lost, what, 28 seconds. Here's our duo of Verst and Alvarado coming up to catch Zoe Backstedt. Backstedt in 4th place. So 4th place to Zoe Backstedt of Canyon SRAM. Behind her, Celine del Carmen Alvarado, just a second or so behind, 2 seconds in fact. There's Blanca Vas, Sara Casasola. Fen van Empel, still the fastest lap, lap number 1, 22.99 kilometers an hour, ahead of Schreiber at 22.97. That move of Lucinda Brand on lap number 2 has given her the 3rd fastest lap, and Blanca Vas has just set her fastest lap with an 8:32.3, which is 11 seconds slower than Fen van Empel's fastest lap. It is amazing to watch the way that Van Empel pedals, isn't it? She just looks like no pressure is being exerted on those pedals at all, and yet she is putting massive power through those pedals. But it's just the whole pedal stroke looks so fluid, so relaxed. Nicely out the saddle there and running. Van Empel said yesterday when she was interviewed, "I've not been idle in Spain and I'm normally better now than before my break." She said, "I'm really looking forward to the first World Cup cyclocross. It's a nice course and a nice field of participants this time. So really looking forward to getting stuck in." Schreiber trying to get back to Lucinda Brand. So Van Empel's current situation, as far as the laps are concerned, she's now 32nd ahead of her chaser. Alvarado is moving up and starting to accelerate, the winner of the World Cup last season. Alvarado trying here to at least put herself into a position to score as many points as she possibly can. She's not going to go down without a fight. You can see there that some of the branding has been blown over, such as the power of the wind across this course. You don't necessarily get a sense of that when we're just watching on our flat screens, but it is very, very windy in Europe. Especially when you're right down on the banks of the water. Storm Bert, which has got to be the best name for a storm ever, has really been hammering Europe over the last 48 hours, 24 in particular. And it means that the riders are contending at some parts of this course with 27, 30 km/h winds. The winds have been reaching up to about 80 km/h. A little bit of instruction there from the pits, which the pit crews are allowed to do. A little bit of a slide there from Brand as that back wheel almost kicked across the course. good to see Schreiber up here still in the top 3. Schreiber got her first podium last year in Flamanville when she was second to Lucinda Brand and behind and ahead of Bentveld. But since then, we haven't seen Schreiber back on the podium, so if she could hold on to this, it would be very good news indeed. Van Empel working well. She looks so relaxed, able to take these little micro rests into the corners, just get the breath back. The body's working at such high intensity, and yet the face on Fem Van Empel would give you no indication that that is the case, except when she goes into the corners and takes a little gasp of oxygen. Onto the steps again, makes short work of that. A bit more laboured on the last couple of steps. Brand isn't losing any time now, she's 32 seconds behind. Coming up towards the end of lap number 4 of 6. Can Marie Schreiber hold on to this 3rd place? But Van Empel at the moment, with that early mistake of Alvarado, doesn't really have anyone who's close to her speed on this course. Back onto the sandy section for the world champion. Checking over her shoulder, no real need to do that. She's got such a big advantage. Although it's not gaining, she's not up to a minute yet. She's now starting to lap some riders. Now remember, riders, normally we don't see them get lapped because we have this 80% rule. So at the end of every lap, the judges take out the riders who are going to get caught, which gives everybody a nice free ride. But this rider at the back is going to be caught now by Fem Van Empel. I think that might be Diana Steffenhagen. The end of lap number 4 for the world champion. Fem Van Empel leads. An 8:23 lap that time, just 2 seconds slower than the lap before. She's had 2 laps of 8:21, a lap of 8:27 and a lap of 8:23. Here comes Brandt. Can she close this at all? Looks like it's just staying where it is. 29 seconds. Last lap it was 28. Marie Schreiber goes through at 44 seconds now. So Fem Van Empel carrying on where she left off last season. 5 wins in the World Cups in the 23-24 season. Alvarado goes through. 4th place for her. 1 minute and 6 seconds down. There's Catasola. She's now in 5th place. There's Backstead. Two Red Bull athletes. Oh, and a problem. Problem for Annemarie Verst. The chain is off. And Annemarie Verst has got a big problem here because the first pit is 530 meters away and there is nothing she can do to get this chain on. So frustrated. She's managed to do it. Loses a lot of places because of that. Manon Bakker just in front of her. Her teammate right on her wheel. Aniek van Alphen. So let's run through the top 10 for you, then pick out some of the riders who are in other nationalities maybe that you want to cheer on. Van Empel leads, 29 seconds from Lucinda Brandt. Behind her is Marie Schreiber, then it's Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. Behind them is the Italian Sara Casasola, then it's Zoe Backstedt. Blanka Vas, the Hungarian, in 7th place. Inge van der Heide in 8th, Laura Verdonschot in 9th, and Manon Bakker in 10th. A little bit further back, Denise Betsemer's in 17th place. Haven't even seen her today. Sana Kant is down in 19th. The French rider, Celia Guerri, is in 23rd. Anna Kay of Great Britain in 24th. Francesca Baroni of Italy in 28th. Sydney McGill of Canada, there is Sana Kant. Sydney McGill of Canada in 34th place. And that's through. The American rider Mia Hazeltine is in 52nd place. 4 laps down, 2 laps to go. Great encouragement for these riders. Still the fastest lap from Van Empel. Then it's Marie Schreiber, then it's Lucinda Brand, then it's Blanka Vas. Sara Casasola has just set her fastest lap with an 8:34.3, average speed of 22.4, which is why we're seeing Casasola starting to accelerate now. That was on the 4th lap. And Alvarado has just set her fastest lap as well with the 8th fastest lap of 8:37.2. Alvarado with an average speed of 22.27 kilometers an hour. Van Empel through the pits again. The pits are positioned at 530 meters today and at 1.7 kilometers. Pit crew getting ready for a bike change. Looks like could be Blanka Vas. Brand goes through. 3rd place for her. Sorry, 2nd place for Brandt. Here's Schreiber. Still holding 3rd. She's got to keep the pressure on though because Alvarado is closing in. It's 20 odd seconds behind. So Marie Schreiber can't really afford to have a slow couple of laps here. And Alvarado's also got Casasola with her, and these two riders are going to force each other now on this course, trying to up the pressure. There's Blanka Vas going through, leading Zoe Backstedt. over the hurdles for the world champion. This race has been really dominated by a couple of things. Fem van Empel being so strong and getting a good start, and the mistakes of Celine del Carmen Alvarado and a slow start by Lucinda Brandt. Because it looks like after those mistakes and Fem van Empel's first move, Alvarado and particularly Lucinda Brandt not been losing that much time. Brand in particular has been holding this gap at around about 32 seconds, anywhere between 28 and 32, so it's not changing massively. Now, can these two riders get themselves up to third place, or can the Luxembourger Marie Schreiber hold on to that podium position? It would be the first time since Flamanville last year, which was round number 6 of the World Cup, that Schreiber had been on the podium. The world champion is such a strong runner, catching more riders in front of her. Getting close to the end of the penultimate lap for the world champion. 42 minutes of racing gone. Fem van Empel crosses the line to get the BEL, this time with an advantage over the rest of the field. The world champion leads. Is anything going to stop that rider this year? Fem van Empel looking fantastic as she makes her way out. Here comes Brandt. Brandt goes through. She is closing this a little bit, but it's not really enough. 8:29 lap for Van Empel that time. 24 seconds, Lucinda Brandt. It was 29 last time. Schreiber comes through in a world of hurt. See, she's had a fall. That left knee bleeding. Well, these women's races need to be as close to 50 minutes as possible. This one's going to be pretty close. It's going to be around about 51 minutes. Can't ask for better calculation than that by the judges. Here's our tussle for 4th place. Alvarado with the rider in the Italian colours, the green, white and red, Casasola. Casasola goes through. Little acceleration puts Alvarado into difficulty. Casasola now in 4th place. The shoulders of Alvarado start to rock. Blancavas, 6th place. Backstead in 7th. Inge van der Heide is the rider who is in 8th place. Casasola now starting to make a little bit of a concerted effort to go away. The Don shot goes through, and to make up the top 10, Anna-Marie Verst. Holding the top 10 after that problem with the chain. Well, unless you were watching another sport, this should be a procession for Fem van Empel, but you can never say that in cyclocross. Brand is trying. She's down at 23 seconds now. But Van Empel looks like she's got this firmly under control.
Elite Witselau 2:48 op plek 17.
You can just see the leg speed of Fem van Empel. When she's running, just the steps are so rapid. That's where she's making up more and more time on the rest of the field. Okay, apart from Lucinda Brandt, but as far as the rest of the field are concerned, she's just taking time. So the fastest lap, remaining Fem van Empel, 22.99 kilometers an hour. Schreiber, second place, then Lucinda Brandt, then Blanca Vass, Casasola, then Annemarie Verst. Alvarado's under some pressure now. Maybe that little bit of illness in the week has now started to hurt. She's hanging on, hunched down through that windy section, trying to get as aero as possible. Oh, really laboured little turn there by Alvarado. Let's take a look at this. You have to get all of your turns right. Just going a little bit too close to that corner. Catches the right hip on the barrier. And now the Italian champion rides away. Casasola, as we mentioned right at the start, has had a number of top 6 places. This is going to be a great result for her today. She last finished 4th in Namur, which of course is one of the hardest cyclocross, if not the hardest cyclocross on the calendar. And last year she also took 4th place in Troyes. Fem van Empel getting close to the end of this race, the first World Cup of this season. First section through here, a little bit of fallen leaves, a little bit of mud under the surface, but pretty hard packed. In the background, we can see the riders making their way down that descent as Van Empel now goes up the steps for the final time. Brandt. Yet again, this rider who has had such an illustrious road and cyclocross career. Brandt is showing again that she is a competitor in the World Cups. Has made it difficult for herself today, having made her way all the way through the field. Brandt is yet again heading to 2nd place. She was 2nd last year in Antwerp. Alvarado was 4th. Verdon Schott was in 5th. In 6th place was Shireen van Anrooy. But Shireen is making her way back after having iliac artery surgery. We wish her all the very best for her recovery. As Van Empel now heads towards the conclusion of this race. Through the sand, nice and easy. Nearly 50 minutes of racing. The crowds leaning over the barriers to welcome the world champion. Catching another rider in front of her. It has been a dominant performance today. This will be 2 wins in a weekend. Oh, and a little mistake into that corner. To get off the bike different way. Alderney Baker of Great Britain just in front of her now. She's about to lap her now. The world champion doing everything right, zipping up the jersey, getting herself set for the end of this lap and making her way into the finish line. It has been a dominant performance. Fantastic fem in the Diamond City. 3 out of 3 in Antwerp for Fem van Empel. Nobody had a chance today. Once she made her move, that was it. Lucinda Brand comes round the corner. She made life difficult for herself with that slow start. But Lucinda Brand again finishes on the podium of a World Cup.
Fem van Empel vandaag toch achterstand 31 secondjes. En dan is het nu wachten op de Luxemburgse kampioenen die nog in het zand zit, die nog even ongerust achterom keek. Maar ze gaat die laatste stukjes in het veld afleggen om dan linksom te draaien richting de aankomstlijn. En dan gaan ze een mooie derde plaats.
Little shake of the head. Well, this is the rider who ignited the race. Well done to her. She took it on. She gave it a go. This rider had a fantastic start, and today she finishes on the podium. Marie Schreiber of SD Works Pro Time, 3rd place for her in Antwerp. A great performance by the Italian champion. Sara Casasola finishes 4th. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado, a defence of the World Cup, doesn't start too well. 5th place for her after a week of illness. Fem van Empel makes her way then to the interviews. Here comes Blanca Vas. 6th place today for Blanca Vas. Just behind her, Zoe Backstead. 7th place for Backstead. 8th place, Inge van der Heide. And coming around the corner is the 9th place rider, Laura Verdonschot. Lost a few places with that chain issue, and a reversed 10th place for her. Behind her is Aniek van Alphen, then Amandine Fouquenet from Arkea B&B Hotels. Then it's Marion Norbert Ribeiro, who finished 2nd yesterday in Kortrijk. Then the French champion Alain Clauzel, 14th place for her. This is Leonie Benveld, 15th place for her, and then Denise Betsema in 16th. Not a good day for Denise Betsema. Fleur Moors, one of the youngest riders in the race, from the Baloise Trek Lions. Fleur Moors, 17th place for her. Here's Sanne Kant. The next rider to finish, though, will be Manon Bakker. Sanne Kant down here in 19th place. The Belgian champion working her way to the finish. Sanne Kant gives us a wave. The Belgian champion.
En dan afzekeren wat verder naar Belgium. De 15-voudige Belgische kampioenen. We krijgen nog een aankomst, dat moet dan Julie Bravers zijn zeker, die als 20ste over de streep komt.
But the day belongs to the world champion. Fem van Empel gives us the count. 3 wins in Antwerp.
15, Fem van Empel wint voor Lucinda Brand. Derde plaats voor Marie Schrijver, wint bij de
Brand in second place.
Vierde de Italiaanse kampioen Sara Casasola. 5 Celine del Carmen Alvarado. 6 Blanca Bas. 7 Zoe Paxen. 8 Inge van der Heijden. Dan hebben we 9 Laura Verdonschot.
Marie Schreiber did the right thing, didn't she?
12 Amandine Fouquelet. 13 Marion Orberi-Bron.
Going out like that, nice and early.
15 Leonie Bentveld. 16 Denise Benzema. 17 Fleur Moos. 18 Marlon Bakker. 19e Sanne Kamp. En we gaan de 20ste en de 21ste nog bijpakken. Julie Brouwers en Alicia Frank. Dat is de top 21 van onze wedstrijd bij de vrouwen. Eerste plaats van de UCI Cyclo-cross.
Here's confirmation of today's result. Fem van Empel wins in Antwerp in 50 minutes and 33 seconds. Lucinda Brand in second at 31 seconds. Behind them on the podium, the Luxembourger Marie Schreiber. Here's the rest of the top 20. We should be hearing shortly from the winner of today's race, Fem van Empel. And we might get an opportunity today to hear from the second and third riders as well. Shouldn't take too long for the riders to recover after that race. It's not been a pouring with rain, snow and mud race. So we should get them into their interviews and onto the podium pretty quickly. Celine del Carmen Alvarado making her way to a camper van there, and the water taxi taking everyone along the side of this course.
Two dominant wins in a row for you this weekend.
Thank you.
What was the key today? Not making any mistakes in the sand?
Yeah, focus the whole race and yeah, ride a steady tempo, because yeah, it was quite hard today with the wind and also with the sand part. So yeah, I did a good job.
Marie Schreiber was the rider who stayed in your reel the longest, but after that it was another solo. I can imagine that that's hard to keep your focus.
Yeah.
Always riding alone.
Yeah, indeed, and also with the headwind was quite hard. But behind me, yeah, there were a lot of small groups. So yeah, I kept fighting till the finish, and yeah, I'm really happy.
It's your first World Cup win. I see Dublin is on your program. Are you riding all the World Cups?
The most of Dublin next week, and then I guess Namur is the next one after Sardinia. So I skip Sardinia.
Fem van Empel, gefeliciteerd met je zege hier in Antwerpen. Ja, wat een weekend. Die break heeft je wel goed gedaan, denk ik.
Ja, zeker. Ik heb niet stilgezeten, maar ja, het is altijd leuk als je weer terug in dat crossgevoel zit. En ja, ik ben super blij met deze overwinning.
Gisteren was het een dominante prestatie. We hadden misschien vandaag ietsje meer tegenstand verwacht, maar het was eigenlijk opnieuw ja, vanaf halfweg of nog eerder echt wel duidelijk dat je er weer alleen vandoor was.
Ja, vooral op dit parcours was het gewoon zaak om gefocust te rijden en dan is ja, je eigen lijn kiezen het beste. En ik heb geprobeerd gewoon steady tempo te blijven rijden en ja, ook dat was heel hard om voorop te blijven.
Heeft de wind zo'n grote rol gespeeld? We zagen inderdaad de vlaggen strak staan, maar op de fiets?
Ja, op de fiets merk ik het eigenlijk overal. Het is een heel open parcours en eigenlijk alleen bij de materiaalpost is het een beetje beschut. Dus een beetje op verschillende stukken mijn adem kunnen verdelen.
Je eerste wereldbekerzege. We hoorden van Jan Boven dat er inderdaad eentje overslaat in Sardinië. Maar het kan nog altijd een doel blijven hè, als je zo blijft rondrijden in de andere manches.
Ja, zeker. Ja, het is wat ik zei, ik probeer elke wedstrijd het beste van te maken. En ja, met 1 wereldbeker niet rijden kan er nog zeker veel gebeuren. Maar we zullen zien, wedstrijd per wedstrijd.
Dankjewel.
Fem van Empel then, she'll ride most of the Cyclo-cross World Cup. She won't ride Sardinia. There will be some riders ducking in and out throughout the 12 rounds. Consistency is key though. We've got a little bit of picture break-up as we wait now for the podium presentation of this first round in Antwerp. Let's take a look at the highlights of today's race. Once the lights went green, Marie Schreiber with a very strong start through that first turn. Schreiber opening up an advantage on the rest of the field. A little bit of a problem early for Celine del Carmen Alvarado and also for Lucinda Brandt. Schreiber at this point opening up 3 or 4 seconds on the rest of the field, but ultimately the world champion working her way back up to the wheel with Annemarie Verst not too far behind. And then Van Empel decided that it was time to try and dominate. She really rode well in the sand today. She is so strong in that discipline. Schreiber did everything she could to stay with the world champion. The rider who made a really good move throughout the race was Lucinda Brandt. Really good start, but ultimately she managed to get going and caught the majority of riders in front. This is the moment where Fem van Empel capitalised on mistakes by Schreiber. As we moved into the second phase of the race, Van Empel was solo. Brandt caught Marie Schreiber and went on the attack. Van Empel opened up more of an advantage every single time she hit the sand or a running section. Brandt left Schreiber behind. There was a little tussle behind by the World Cup winner of last year, Celine del Carmen Alvarado and Sara Casasola. Alvarado's not been too well this week, so she eventually capitulated to the efforts of Casasola. And at the finish of the Diamond City, 3 years running, it has been a win for Fem van Empel. Second place to Lucinda Brandt. And the third place to the rider who dominated the early proceedings in this race, Marie Schreiber. Well, the incredible port building that stands not too far away from the course, right in the port of Antwerp.
Lucinda Brandt, congratulations on the second place. What happened at the start?
Well, I tried my best to start as fast as possible. It's very short, so it was not easy, and I think it was not super bad. Of course, it can always be better, but yeah, then it's really hard to pass, and my sand sections were not the best. So then, instead of moving up, I lost a few places, and yes, then the first two had a gap already. Once I could finally move up, and I never could close it anymore.
But this is indeed a course where it's not easy to pass, but you remained calm, try to stay without faults.
Yeah, I try to stay calm and to make sure that I have space passing through the sand, because I knew, like, if they maybe make one mistake and you do it perfect, you can come back. But in the front, they did it perfect as well. So Fem just was strong, because once it was head-to-head, she also continued her gap. So yes, it was clear.
But second place to start off the World Cup, it's a good start.
Yeah, definitely a good start. I would have loved to do a battle a bit longer, but I'm satisfied.
Thank you. Lucinda Brandt, ja, proficiat met je tweede plaats. Het is wel dezelfde uitslag als vorig jaar. Tweede achter Fem van Empel.
Ja, klopt. En iets ander gevecht. Al vanuit vertrek had ze redelijk snel een gat. En eer ik kon opschuiven en mijn eigen lijnen kon rijden, ja, kon ik het gat niet meer dichten.
Inderdaad, want in die start ging het misschien niet helemaal goed. En dan is het moeilijk hier om plekjes te winnen. Maar toch nog tot op die tweede plaats geraakt.
Ja, klopt. Het is een korte start en mijn explosiviteit is niet helemaal meer wat ik wilde. Maar en dan moet je momenten vinden en dat lukte niet helemaal snel. Dus ja, dat was wel jammer.
Had je het gevoel dat als je er van in de start bij had kunnen blijven, in haar wiel had kunnen zitten, dat je wel een duel echt had kunnen uitvechten met Van Empel?
Ja, dat is zeker wel een duel geweest. Ik weet niet tot zover in koers. Het feit dat het moment dat we allebei tegen elkaar streden en onze eigen lijn konden rijden, kwam ik eigenlijk niet echt dichterbij. Misschien eens een paar seconden, maar dan werd het weer wat groter. Dus ze was duidelijk ook wel gewoon minstens zo sterk of iets sterker dan mij.
Maar een tweede plek om het wereldbekerseizoen te beginnen is wel goed, ook al met het oog op het eindklassement.
Ja, zeker. Goed begin. En over het algemeen over mijn koers tevreden.
Dankjewel.
Lucinda Brand in second place today. Bit windy down there on the beach. We wait then for the podium presentation of round 1 of this UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup.
Marie Schreiber, congratulations on your third place. Were you aiming or hoping for a podium here today?
Actually, my goal was at top 5. I mean, last week was pretty good, so I knew I was feeling well. But then, everyone was here, so I didn't know how I would do. And also, the conditions are quite tricky, but I like it. And I had a super good start, and then I cracked a bit in the second, third lap. When Lucinda came, I couldn't follow, but then towards the end, I had a good pace, and I didn't make any mistakes, so I could keep the third place.
You were the one who could stay on the wheel of Van Empel the longest. Was there any point in which you thought, maybe I can keep this till the end?
Well, I thought I'd just hang on for as long as I can, and then unfortunately in the sand I made a big mistake and she was gone. I never got back, and I think also maybe I went a little bit over the limit trying to follow her, because after that I cracked a bit. And I think I was a bit on the limit because I made some mistakes. Because in the sand, if you're really on your limit, you start to make mistakes. So I tried to, before the sand, these passages not go too all out, so I could white clean it to the sand, which worked well. And then I thought maybe I could hang on with Lucinda, but that also didn't work. But then I rode on my own, which is also fine because you can see the lines and everything, so I was happy with that.
Our commentators, they noticed a bit of blood on your knee halfway through the course. What happened there?
I was running over the barriers and I hit my knee against my wheel, against the spokes. And I didn't wheel it, and then I was looking down, I was like, oh shit, I was bleeding. But it's nothing bad, it's just a bit of skin that's gone.
A third place to start the World Cup, that's a very good result, I think.
Yeah, it's nice also to win the under 23. My goal is to do well in the GC there. I hope I can build up on this.
GC under 23, but if you can come third in this field here in Antwerp, then maybe you can go for the GC overall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll win that one, but it's nice to be up in the front. So I hope every weekend I can do good results, and then we'll see where I end up.
Thank you very much.
Vooral zo meteen de top 3 van de wedstrijd van vandaag. Meteen nadien gevolgd.
Marie Schreiber in third place today. Sorry for a little bit of choice language in that interview. We wait then for the podium presentation. Well, the usual fanfare of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup as the riders make their way forward for this podium presentation.
And you stay until you receive the leader, Jacek. Okay? And after the national anthem.
We go in front of the podium.
The presentation of round 1 of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup.
In Antwerpen, graag uw aandacht voor de huldigingsplechtigheid na afloop van de zo pas betwiste eerste wedstrijd in het kader van de UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup editie 2024-2025. May we have your attention please for the award ceremony after the first round of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup 24-25. We gaan de bloemen laten uitreiken door de schepen van sport van de stad Antwerpen. De heer Wouters gaat de bloemen eerst en vooral uitreiken aan de dame die op de derde plaats is geëindigd. Uw applaus voor Marie Schreiber!
Marie Schreiber on the podium. It's Been a long time since she was on a podium, quite a few rounds of World Cup racing. 9 rounds that she stood on the podium position. Last time was second place in Flamanville. Lucinda Brandt, second last time in Antwerp a few months ago, second this time.
De wereldkampioene did it again. Winnares van de eerste manche van de wereldbeker 24-25. Mag ik uw overwinningsapplaus voor de wereldkampioene Fem van Empel.
A world champion wins in Antwerp. Fem van Empel on the top step of the podium in round number 1.
Als winnares van de wedstrijd. En ze gaat niet alleen de bloemen krijgen, ze gaat ook door Schipper Waters een wereldbeker Leidenstrui uitgereikt krijgen.
Marie Schreiber just reminding her to get on the podium.
Uiteraard als winnares van de eerste manche. Meteen ook aan top in de algemene klassering van de wereldbeker. En daarvoor mag ze bij deze de Leidenstrui aantrekken. Met uw applaus.
Who's on the UCI World Cup leaders jersey?
Dames en heren, mag ik uw aandacht voor het nationale Nederlandse volkslied voor het
And now for the national anthem.
For the national anthem of the Netherlands. Applaus, dames en heren, bestemd voor dit drietal op het podium, de top 3 van de cross van vandaag in Antwerpen.
The top 3 in Antwerp, Marie Schreiber, Lucinda Brandt and the winner, Fem van Empel.
Ze mogen nog even vooraan plaatsnemen op het podium voor de laatste officiële fotomomenten op het podium. Zometeen gaan we het tweede deel krijgen van de huldiging.
Last few photographs as always.
We krijgen uit de U23 categorie. Maar eerst ook nog, uiteraard, en dat mag niet ontbreken, het selfie-moment. Dus de handjes in het publiek mogen de lucht in.
On a quick selfie.
Nogmaals met de geleverde prestatie.
That'll be on the World Cup social media later on. Some intense building going on the beach. Let's take a look at the World Cup standings after one round. Of course, that's how it looks. Van Empel leads with 40 points from Brandt, from Marie Schreiber. There's the top 10, which will juggle around as we go through the different rounds. Well, thanks very much for watching. We're going to be back with the men's race from Antwerp. Fem van Empel wins round 1. Bye for now.
In deze categorie, in de U23-categorie, als regerend wereldkampioen uit Groot-Brittannië op de tweede plaats geëindigd in second place. The reigning world champion from Great Britain, Sylvie Beckstedt.
Thank you.